What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down this VSL that I came across. I personally believe it's not good, and I'm going to break it down in this video. So, start off like this.
Hey, this is Solomon
First thing I noticed, first off, the intro, right? So,
Cole, also known as the Most Jack Realtor.
this whole first line is so unnecessary because here's the thing, right? A VSL is the very last thing in a funnel that people come across. So top of funnel is your content, right? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Middle of funnel should be your nurturing mechanism. So whether it's email sequences, email broadcasts, a private Discord community, whatever. This is the very last thing in the funnel, bottom of funnel, is a landing page, right? So people already know who you are. Ideally, people should already trust you and know that you're credible. So the intro saying, "Hey, this is Solomon Cole," very unnecessary. Another thing before we resume the video, the backlighting is not professional. Instead of using a very basic just backdrop, I would turn off the lights, get yourself some lighting equipment, and like get yourself a whatever. I just got this on Amazon. Hold on. What's the name? I just got this on Amazon. Something like this. You can use something like that to record more professional backdrops, like for your videos, especially for VSL, because VSL needs to be as professionally done as possible. Um, so get yourself some lighting equipment, turn off the lights, get yourself a quality microphone as well, very high quality microphone that you can speak into. I don't know if you're reading the script from a teleprompter, but definitely get yourself a teleprompter too, so that you can record the VSL like, just like that, because you have the script in front of you. Another thing as well, what did I say here? Editing, backlighting isn't professional. All right, I'm gonna get into the other stuff as we go along. So, first two things, intro is unnecessary. Backlighting needs to be adjusted, like crucially. And the editing as well. That's another thing. I would start off with some sort of zoom in, and then the caption. Why is it at the bottom? At the very bottom, at least, like have it up here by your chest area, because I can even see it. But let's continue.
On socials. If you're a real estate agent or wholesaler struggling to hit consistent sales, or you're just getting started and don't know where to begin, this is for you. I'm about to
That's a good one.
show you how I help agents and wholesalers scale to 100K per month and beyond using my proven systems.
So in that line, you didn't have to say my proven systems. You want to, with your copywriting, you want to be as direct and intentional as possible. So I was actually writing some of this on a notepad. So give me 1 second. So if you're a real estate agent or wholesaler, that's another thing as well. Why are you targeting agents and wholesalers? You should ideally target one specific person, because here's the thing, right? Wholesalers and agents have different, different mechanisms, or like the way they make deals is different, and the way they operate is different. Because wholesalers, yeah, they can work together, but you shouldn't be targeting both of them. You should be targeting one of them. So it's either wholesalers or real estate agents, right? Wholesalers are in it to cold call. The way they make deals is by cold calling, getting a contract, flipping the contract, and getting the profit in between. And then agents, they're in it to sell homes. They're not selling contracts. They're selling houses. They're selling homes. So you should target one person. That's the most important thing. Target one specific person, because the more dialed in you are to speaking to one person, the more you can charge, and the clearer your messaging is going to be. Because the messaging in this VSL, as I was watching through it and writing and handwriting the script like on my notepad, there's a lot of mistakes and adjustments that I would make to definitely make the messaging clearer and just overall 10x your conversion rate. But yeah, don't target two people, target one person. With that line, saying if you're a real estate wholesaler struggling to hit consistent sales or you're just getting started, this is for you. And I'm about to show you how I help agents and wholesalers scale to 100K per month and beyond. Just end it like that. Scale to 100K per month and beyond. You don't have to say using my proven systems. That's unnecessary. You want to end it with something impactful. So,
Before we get into the details, let me tell you why you should listen to me.
so instead of saying, let me tell you why you should listen to me, you can say something like, before I get into the details, because who's we, right? It's just you. So before I get into the details, let me tell you, how about this? Before we get into the details, I'm sure you're wondering, Solomon, why should I trust you? So now you're like flipping it into a question. Like, this is a question that people already have in their minds, and now you're just stating it out. Instead of saying, let me tell you why you should listen to me, like you're saying it's psychologically, it turns people away because it seems like you're, how would I say it? It seems like you're demanding people to listen to you psychologically. Not saying you are, but psychologically it sounds like that. So instead of saying that, you can say, before I get into the details, I'm sure you're wondering, Solomon, why should I trust you? That's a very small but instant flip that can definitely increase retention.
I've been in your shoes, working long hours, chasing dead leads, and wondering if I'd ever make it in this business. But then I
That's another thing. Just end it off with um, wondering if I would ever make it as a wholesaler, right? Not in this business, because again, you should be targeting wholesalers. I mean, I'm assuming that that's your main expertise, or you can say wondering if I ever make it as an agent. But before we get into the details, I'm sure you're wondering, Solomon, why should I trust you? Well, you see, I've been in your shoes before. I used to work long hours. I used to cold call for 12 hours a day, hating my life. I was chasing dead leads, wondering if I would ever make it as a wholesaler. You see how that instant flip in tonality and just psychological copywriting is sounds so much better. Um, let's continue.
cracked the code that at age 18, I was
But then I cracked code. You see, at age 18,
able to produce over $5 million
I managed to produce, or I managed to sell over $5 million worth of, you can say, deals. I managed to sell over $5 million worth of deals as a wholesaler.
in sales. Over the past 3 years, I've helped
And over the past 3 years, I've helped over 35 agents, well,
35
whatever you're targeting, right? It should be agents or wholesalers. Like, I already have the script written down, so you guys might not, like, know what the script is yet, but I have it written down in front of me on the notepad. So over the past 3 years, I've helped over 35 plus wholesalers completely transform their lives. You're going to see here.
agents and wholesalers transform their business, with many hitting 6 figures a month. My systems are battle tested, and
That's another line right here.
I'm here to share them with you.
That's unnecessary. You don't have to say my systems are battle tested and I'm here to share them with you. There is absolutely no reason to say that because again, you want to be very intentional with these lines. Every single line that you say in this VSL has to be psychologically it has to be intentional, you know? No fluff, no fluffy words, no fluffy sentences that are unnecessary. So let me review it again. Over the past 3 years, I've helped over 35 plus wholesalers completely transform their lives, not their business. You can just say their lives because that's why they're calling, right? So they can change their lives, completely transform their lives, with many of them hitting over $100,000 every single month. So instead of saying six figures or saying 100K, you want to say big numbers like that, like flat out. You want to say $100,000 because it sounds 100 saying $100,000 sounds much better than saying 100K because it sounds bigger, you know. So completely transform their lives with many of them hitting over $100,000 every single month. You see how that tonality is instantly like it sounds much better and much more enticing, much more authoritative as well.
If you've
And that line that you said, "My systems are battle tested, and I'm here to share them with you," get rid of that. Unnecessary.
been a struggling real estate business owner for a while,
And this is another thing as well. Getting to the next section of this VSL script, you don't want to say that. So if you've been a struggling business owner, what did you say?
share them with you. If you've been a struggling real estate business owner,
Yeah, you don't want to say that. Again, think about who you're targeting. Are you targeting agents? Are you targeting wholesalers? If you're targeting wholesalers, you want to say, so if you've been struggling to sign wholesaling, so if you've been struggling to sign deals as a wholesaler, you see that has to be very specific with the lines that you say. This thing is this thing is 10 minutes long and been recording for probably who knows. So stay tuned. It's going to be a long video. But yeah, you want to be very specific with who you're targeting and your lines. Well, you don't want to just say real estate business owner. You're targeting wholesalers, so you got to say. So if you've been struggling to sign deals as a wholesaler, right?
for a while, or you're getting into this business and want to speed up your process, here's the truth.
And this is just a very simple tweak. Or so if you've been struggling to sign deals as a wholesaler, or if you're just getting started and you want to speed up the process, something simple tweak.
Most agents and wholesalers fail, or you're getting into this business and want to speed up your process, here's the truth. Most agents and wholesalers
Instead of saying like something like "here's the truth," you can say something like "here's what you need to know," or "here's why you might fail," or that whole line just needs to be adjusted. That whole section, but um, or you're just getting started and you want to speed up the process. Here's what you need to know. Most agents, well, I'll let it continue.
fail because they don't have a clear roadmap. They're stuck overanalyzing, wasting money on websites and business cards, or freezing up on sales calls. Sound familiar?
This transition is pretty unnatural. So when you finish up with these common mistakes, right, or false solutions, that's what these are. You want to say, doesn't this sound familiar? Because it sounds more natural and it starts with like a negative tone. Because in psychology, people pay attention more to negatives than positives, right? So instead of saying sound familiar, say, doesn't this sound familiar? You know? So they're stuck overanalyzing, wasting money on websites and business cards, or even freezing up on sales calls. I mean, doesn't this sound familiar to you? You can say something like that. It's even better because it's more natural. It starts with a negative tone, which is psychologically targeting the brain to pay attention to the negative, and you're ending off with "to you," because again, this VSL is speaking to a person across the other screen. So you want to say "to you" to really get them attention, to really get their attention. You know. So, doesn't this sound familiar to you?
It's not your fault. The industry is full of
You see, it's not your fault, and I have the script in front of me, so just stay with me. It's not your fault. The industry is full of outdated advice that doesn't even work anymore.
outdated advice that doesn't work in today's market.
You don't say in today's market, just say that doesn't even work anymore. You know?
But the good news is there's a better way. There's a way to grow your real estate business in 2025 to six figures and up without cold.
And let's break this down again. So instead of saying but, just say however. I mean, it sounds more professional. However, the good news is there's an even better way to grow your real estate wholesaling business to $100,000 per month and beyond in 2025 without. See, that whole section could be instantly flipped just like that. I'm going to say it one more time. However, the good news is there's an even better way to grow your real estate wholesaling business to $100,000 per month and beyond in 2025 without. You see that tonality?
Cold calls without dry leads, not knowing what to do.
And you want to use specific terms here too. So you can say without having to cold call for 12 hours a day, hating your life, or driving for dollars, wasting money on gas, and possibly even getting a gun pointed at your head. You know, because that's what happens.
But first,
You have to really dive into the minds of these people too. Like you gotta understand what their industry is to some degree. So instead of saying driving for dollars, you can say without driving for dollars, without having to drive for dollars, wasting money on gas, and possibly even having a gun pointed to your head. And when you said not knowing what to do, I don't know why you put that line there. It doesn't make sense to me.
without cold calls, without dry leads, not knowing what to do.
Not knowing what to do. I don't know.
But first, let me show you exactly how to fix the biggest.
So let me review the script one more time. So there's an even better way without having to do this. But here, let me show you exactly how you can fix this bottleneck. Well, let's let it run.
Bottleneck that's holding most agents and wholesalers back. This is the same framework I've used.
Okay, so here's where we're gonna dive into some misconceptions, right? As we go through the VSL, you're gonna see that he starts to give away value, which honestly makes zero sense. But let's review that first section real quick. So after you say without having to do this,
But first, let me show you exactly.
I don't know why you said but first. Now I'm confused. So like I'm analyzing the script on my notepad, but why did you say but first? See, it's not your fault. The industry is full of outdated advice. That's the previous section. Last section is next section after that we just watched. However, the good news is there's an even better way to grow your real estate wholesaling business to $100,000 per month and beyond in 2025 without having to cold call 12 hours a day, driving for dollars, not knowing what to do. But here's the thing, right? There's a very big reason why these people have their bottleneck. So you wanna state that out, just like that. So you see, the biggest reason why most wholesalers are stuck is because they don't have a system in place. You guys are gonna see this in the script right now.
Exactly how to fix the biggest bottleneck that's holding most agents and wholesalers back. This is the same framework I've used to help my clients go from 0 to 100K per month, and it's something you can start applying today.
So I would try to frame this whole thing in a way that is insightful and not telling people how to do it, not even giving away free value. Um, you can position this as steps that people can take, but let's go back to this, right? So, but first, let me show you exactly how to fix the biggest bottleneck. That's one of the problems here. You don't want to teach people how to do this because the whole purpose of a VSL, right? The whole purpose of a VSL is to convince people and entice people into wanting to buy your offer. They want to, like, the VSL is designed to sell the implementation. It's designed to sell the how, but you're giving away the how in the VSL. So that makes no sense. Why give away the value in the VSL if the whole purpose of the VSL is to sell the value, right? So instead, you can say something like, instead of it's like delete the whole section that you have here and just go instantly to this. You see, the biggest reason why most wholesalers are stuck is because they don't have a system in place. Delete the whole section where you say, but first, let me show you exactly how to fix the biggest bottleneck that's holding most agents and wholesalers back. This is the exact framework I've used to help my client go from $0 to $100 a month. Um, I don't know. The whole thing here is just very. It's not positioned too well. It's not positioned to sell or to book calls or to drive applications. So I would honestly just delete this whole section and say something like, and just jump instantly to this line.
Let's break it down. Let's talk about the biggest bottleneck that keeps most.
Instead of saying let's talk about it, like I would delete that whole section we just went over and start off with this line. You see, the biggest reason why most wholesalers are stuck is because they don't have a system in place.
Agents and wholesalers stuck. They don't have a system.
That's what, like, I would honestly just do that because that whole section is just it doesn't make sense. It does not. Um, Psychologically, again, you gotta understand that VSL is designed to break beliefs. Like here's what a VSL is meant to do, right? A VSL is meant to break beliefs, shift people's beliefs, and make you seem like the authority figure. Like they see that you're hard to work with, sort of, and they see that you know what you're doing. They see that you've gotten results for yourself and for other people, and they see that you have a roadmap that you can take them through. But giving away the value, it doesn't really make sense.
They're winging it every day, hoping for results, instead of following a proven process. So, let me break down the exact framework I teach my clients to go from 0 to 100K per month. Step
Like this is something more that you would have this in a paid ad. Like if you're gonna break down a framework like this, one, you don't teach people how to do it. You can give them the steps, right? But even then, you don't do that in a VSL. You do that with a paid ad. So with a paid ad, you can say, "Hey, here are the 3 steps I use to take my client from 0 to 100K a month. 1, 2, 3. If you want to learn more, uh, click the link below and get my free lead magnet." Like this is something that you put in a paid ad, not a VSL. Because again, a VSL is designed to sell people. It's designed to shift beliefs, uh, break people's limiting beliefs or break their false beliefs, and just showcase credibility, not giving away people the value.
1, the foundation. If you're an agent,
And that's another thing as well. The transition sentence here. Let's review it one more time.
I teach my clients to go from 0 to 100K per month. Step 1, the foundation.
You just say, "Hey, all right, so here's the exact framework I teach my students to go from 0 to 100K a month. First step, the very first step is setting up a good foundation, something like that." But even again, like we shouldn't be giving away value in our VSL.
If you're an agent, the first thing you need is to understand how to profit from your license. Passing the test is one thing.
Another thing as well, were 2 things. First, I stopped handwriting the script back to that section. So everything that I say from now on is going to be raw. But another thing as well, right here, another big mistake.
If you're an agent, the first thing you need is to understand how to profit from your license.
You have to target one person. You're targeting agents and wholesalers, which makes no sense because as I mentioned before, and I'm sure you know this, wholesalers and real estate agents have different ways of operating and different ways of making deals and different ways of doing business. They do things differently. Yeah, they can work together. Wholesalers can give the contracts to agents and agents can give the contracts to whatever, but their whole system for making things work is different. Agents are in it to sell homes. They study for their real estate license to sell homes. Wholesalers, they don't need a license. They can, like, anybody can start wholesaling and pick up the phone and dial, right? Like, wholesalers are in it to sell contracts. They're in it to cold call. They are cold calling, but they're in it to just sell contracts, flip contracts. That's why they're doing it. So again, you got to target one specific person because the messaging in this VSL is not clear because of the fact that you're targeting two people. And again, when you're targeting one person, you can, one, you can charge more for your offer. Two, your messaging and your marketing is going to be much more clear. And three, it's just going to be more, it's going to be highly scalable. That's another thing. It's going to be way easier for you to scale because of the fact that you're targeting one single person instead of two people.
Passing the test is one thing, but knowing how to turn that license into consistent income is another. For wholesalers, it's about getting legally set up and mastering assignment contracts so you can lock up properties without risking deals. Here's a quick.
Like, even if you wanted to target 2 to 3 people, I would run up some sort of community offer or something. But even then, it's just not ideal to target several people at once. You got to target one person, And if you're going to target 3 people, it has to be 3 people within the wholesaling space. So it can be people that are already successful with wholesaling, but they don't want to keep cold calling or they don't want to keep driving for dollars. It can be 2 wholesalers that have seen some success, but they want more, or 3 wholesalers that are just starting out and they don't know what they're doing. Like, that's what you could do if you wanted to target several people, but it's all staying within the same branch. Like, it's all staying within the same niche of people. If that makes sense,
Win. If you're an agent, start by identifying the top 3 neighborhoods in your market with the highest turnover rates. That's where you focus your prospecting efforts. If you're a wholesaler, pull a list of absentee owners in your area.
And again, I just want to say this again, dude. The VSL should never have value given away inside of it, because the whole purpose is to shift people's beliefs, make you seem as the authority figure, break their false beliefs, break their false solutions, make them realize that everything they thought they knew was completely wrong, and make them feel like they were lied to, and make yourself seem credible by showing your personal transformation, your backstory to be more relatable, and the results that you got for your students. So that's the entire purpose of VSL. Never give away value. If you're ever going to give away some sort of value, make sure you don't give people the how for free. You want to sell the how. You want to give people the what. So what to do, the steps they should take, not how to do it. And you only do that with top of funnel stuff like paid ads, or just paid ads, or maybe a lead magnet like an educational email course or whatever. The steps, but never in a VSL.
And start reaching out with a simple script like, "Hi, I'm looking to buy properties in your area. Are you open to selling?" This alone can get you your first few leads. Step 2, finding the right environment. You can't win if you're surrounded by the wrong people. That's why I plug my clients into a private community of closers. But it's not always easy. When the slow weeks hit, most people quit. That's why consistency coaching is key. You need someone in your corner to push you through those dips so you can become the top 1% who actually finish the mission. The next thing.
Let's rerun that one more time.
But it's not always easy. When the slow weeks hit, most people quit. That's why consistency coaching is key.
So you can say, you see, this is why you need a coach.
You need someone in your corner to push you through those dips so you can become the top.
You want to position this differently. Don't say so you can become the top 1%. that actually finish the mission. You want to say so that you can change your life and just whatever like number one goal they're trying to achieve. So for wholesalers, their number one goal is of course to make money. Um, but again, they don't want to keep cold calling. They don't want to keep driving for dollars. So you can position your line in a way that basically targets people into pushing their goals. Like you want to state what their number one goal is in this line.
1% who actually finish the mission. The next thing is the multi-channel approach. You need to have an easy way to create content, run ads, and produce leads on all platforms that are consistently coming to you on autopilot. Step 5 is your scaling strategy. Once you've got the basics down, it's time to scale. This means reinvesting smartly, hiring ISAs and VAs to handle repetitive tasks and expanding into new marketing channels. But here's a common mistake: spending money on websites and business cards before talking to any leads. That's just wasting money. Focus on what moves the needle: lead generation, follow-ups, and closing deals. And if you're freezing up on sales calls or fumbling negotiations, you need to fix that fast. Tracking your metrics and improving your skills is non-negotiable if you want to scale. One of the biggest things the real estate modules are doing to scale to 100K per month is getting major assistance. You need someone like an ISA that is consistently calling leads for you, following up for you, and coordinating deals for you. If you have those three and you have a system to manage them, boom, you're operating as a real business. But ask yourself, how easy would it be to consistently get leads in the door? People raising their hand, and the only thing you need to do is run an ad, create some posts. This is Jamie. He did this with only $2,000 input. Now he's making $100,000 per month. Now, let me give you a bonus step that most people overlook, but is absolutely critical if you want to scale efficiently. Mastering your CRM and leveraging automation.
Again, this VSL should never have value in it because if you're going to give away these steps, you should do so with a lead magnet. You should do so with an educational email course, a guide, maybe even a paid ad, as I said. But you don't want to give away all these steps in the VSL. Because again, this is the bottom of funnel in the marketing funnel. Top of funnel is your traffic, your paid ads, your content. Middle of funnel is your nurturing mechanisms. Everything you're giving away in this VSL, all this value and all this stuff, is stuff that you give people in the nurturing mechanism, in the middle of funnel. And even then, it should never be the how. If you're going to sell the how, people, like, you're selling the how through your coaching, through your course, program, whatever. You never want to give this stuff away in a VSL. Because psychologically, it doesn't make sense, as this is the bottom of funnel. People already know who you are. People already trust you. They know that you're credible already because you've nurtured them, ideally, with the nurturing mechanisms. And they are aware of the solution. Like, they know what they have to do. But this VSL is selling them on why they should trust you to help them make that stuff happen. Like, that's the whole purpose of this VSL. It's typically like closing. It's kind of like closing the deal. People already know what they need to do, but they don't know how to do it, and they don't have the accountability to do it. That's why the VSL exists. That's why a landing page exists, right?
Automation. Here's the truth. Your CRM isn't just a tool to store contacts. It's your command center. It's where deals are won or lost. If someone clicks to book a call, respond right away. Email sequences. Build automated email sequences. A clear step-by-step roadmap to implement all of this without the guesswork. Let me show you exactly what's inside the program and how it works. Here's what you can expect when you join. Days 1 through 3, we're gonna have a full set.
So you can say something like, okay, once you join today, here's the roadmap. You want to give people the roadmap, say that here. Okay, here's the roadmap. Here's what you can expect while you work with me.
Scripts, systems, and a personalized action plan. Days 4 to 10, your first seller and buyer conversation. Days 11 through 17, your first offers being made. Days 18 through 24, your first contract locked up.
And another thing as well, if you want to shorten up the VSL script, when you explain the roadmap, you can have like a process section in the landing page. So you don't have one here, but I would list out the process in phases. Like, here's phase 1, right here. Phase 2, right here. Phase 3, right here. And it's all in the landing page. So that once people scroll down, they see, hey, okay, this is the process. What does it look like? Well, here's phase 1, here's phase 2, here's phase 3. That way you don't have to explain it in the VSL. And you can shorten it up.
Days 25 through 30, your first closing or assignment, and your first payday. By day 30, your full pipeline will be built out, momentum will be established, and your scaling plan will be initiated. Here's a breakdown of the mentorship. Week 1, personal onboarding calls, a custom 30-day money map, instant access to scripts, contracts, and templates.
You can just position this as saying, okay, here's everything you're also going to get. Like, here are the bonuses. Here are all the bonus resources that you're going to get once you sign up. Again, you can probably have this in the landing page too. Like, you can have a section specifically like showcasing the bonuses that people get once they actually start working with you, so that you can, again, shorten up the VSL script and make it quicker.
And lead generation fundamentals. The second week is going to be daily lead generation assignments, serious seller and buyer conversations, and appointment setting. The third week is going to, and once you've succeeded, you'll gain access to my advanced mastermind, partnership opportunities, and a lifetime alumni network. This is your chance to change your life. If you're ready to stop struggling and start scaling, now's the time to act. I only work with a limited number of agents and wholesalers each month to ensure everyone gets the attention they need.
If you want to make it more enticing, don't say limited. You want to be specific with your numbers. So you can say, I only work with three wholesalers, agents. Again, you should only target one person, but I only work with 3 wholesalers every single month, for example. And so far, we have 2 spots filled up. But you can say, I'm only taking on 15 clients, and so far 7 are filled up, something like that.
Spots fill up
Just be specific with the number. Never say something broad.
fast, so don't wait. Click the link below to apply now, and let's get you on the path to gets the attention they need. Spots fill up fast, so don't wait. Click the link below to apply now.
So instead of saying click the link below, you can say something like, so if you're ready to change your life as a wholesaler and you're ready to finally crack the code, so you can quit cold calling, quit driving for dollars, and quit what's the other thing? Like shooting yourself in the foot, or so you can quit the stress, or you can so that people can stop being stressed out. Like you want to end it off like that instead of saying you want to change up the CTA so it's more personalized. You don't want to just say something like click the link below. You want to say, so if you're ready to X, Y, and Z, then simply click the link below and see if you qualify. Something like that. Just make it more personalized.
And let's get you on the path to 100K per month and beyond.
So that's my entire breakdown of this VSL script and just the VSL in general. And the landing page a bit, as I mentioned, you can have a process section, you can have a bonus section with bonuses. But yeah, that's my entire breakdown of the VSL script. Everything from 0 to probably this amount of length was handwritten, so I already prepared before the video. Then everything else after that, I had no idea what he was going to say, so everything else after that was raw. But yeah, if you want my personal help, or if you found this useful, I don't know if Solomon is watching this, but if you are, definitely take some of the advice that I gave into consideration. Test it out for yourself. And if you are not Solomon, if you're someone else that's running an info product business and you want me to script write your VSL and just make sure your VSL is professional and just killer, like make sure your VSL will just crush conversions, then send me a DM on Instagram or simply join the Discord below. Even follow me on Twitter if you want to. But yeah, if you found this useful, DM me on Instagram, Discord. I'll do it for you. And thanks for watching.